Welcome to GiG Finance, your trusted source for global financial news. We are committed to providing you with the most accurate and timely information, helping you make informed decisions in an ever-changing financial landscape. In this edition, we will be covering a broad range of topics that are shaping the global economy right now. From the global May Day protests that have seen workers and activists around the world demanding greater labor rights and expressing economic grievances, to the struggling US market that is grappling with a variety of challenges. We will also delve into the ongoing protests in Paris, explore the May Day protests that took place in Athens and Brazil, and discuss the baseless court charges against former US President Donald Trump. And finally, we will look into the potential impact of a Trump win on the world market and what that could mean for your investments. So, stay tuned as we dive into these topics and more, providing you with the insights you need to navigate the global financial landscape. Let's begin. Workers and activists around the world marked May Day with largely peaceful protests Wednesday over rising prices and calls for greater labor rights. Pro-Palestinian sentiments were also on display. Police in Istanbul used tear gas and fired rubber bullets to disperse thousands of people who tried to break through a barricade and reach the main Taksim Square in defiance of a ban. Interior Minister Ali Yerlikaya said at least 210 people were detained. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's government has long declared Taksim off-limits for demonstrations on security grounds. In 1977, unidentified gunmen opened fire on a May Day celebration there, causing a stampede and killing 34 people. On Wednesday, a small group of trade union representatives lay a wreath at a monument to victims. May Day, which falls on May 1st, is observed to celebrate workers' rights. It's also an opportunity to air economic grievances or political demands. Tax the rich, one banner in Germany read. Don't touch the 8-hour workday, another read in Sri Lanka. In the United States, the market is struggling with inflation under the Biden administration. The rising prices of everyday goods and services are making life increasingly difficult for the common man. From groceries to gasoline, the cost of living has noticeably increased. Economists attribute this inflation to the policies implemented by the Biden administration, causing a ripple effect that is felt by every American. Small businesses and the middle class are being hit particularly hard. The increased cost of raw materials and labor is forcing many small businesses to either raise their prices or shrink their profit margins. The middle class, often referred to as the backbone of the economy, is feeling the pinch as their disposable income dwindles with the rise in prices. The inflation is causing a strain on the economy, with many hoping for a change in policies. As May Day protests take place around the globe, it is clear that the struggle is not isolated, but a shared experience across borders. The question remains, how will the Biden administration respond to these economic challenges? In Paris, police fired tear gas as thousands of protesters marched through the French capital, seeking better pay and working conditions. Police said 12 officers were hospitalized after a homemade explosive was set off on the sidelines of the march. Officers detained 45 people at the largely peaceful Paris march after instances of scattered violence, authorities said. A group of protesters set makeshift Olympic rings on fire to show discontent with the Summer Games that start in less than 3 months. France's unions have warned of a strike during the Games if the government does not adequately compensate people forced to work during summer holidays. Government officials have failed to meet with union leaders, said Sophie Binet, the General Secretary of the CGT union, one of France's largest. How do you expect it to go well if the authorities don't respond to our simplest demand? She said. Pro-Palestinian groups joined the Paris rally, chanting slogans in support for people in Gaza. There were similar scenes in Greece as pro-Palestinian protesters joined May Day rallies, waving a giant Palestinian flag as they marched past the Greek parliament. Others displayed banners in support of pro-Palestinian protesting students in the United States. We want to express our solidarity with students in the United States who are facing great repression of their rights and their just demands, said Nikos Mavrokefalos at the march. We want to send a message that workers say no to exploitation, no to poverty, no to high prices, he added. Several thousand protesters joined the Athens marches as labor strikes disrupted public transport across Greece. The largest union demands a return to collective bargaining after labor rights were scrapped during the 2010-18 financial crisis. In Brazil, President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva ratified a law that extends income tax exemptions to those earning up to 2 minimum wages per month. Moving on from international protests to the tumultuous political landscape of the United States, recent baseless court charges filed against former President Donald Trump have stirred controversy. Trump, who is no stranger to the courtroom, now faces accusations that many argue lack substantial evidence. Public reaction is, as expected, polarized. Supporters of the former president view these charges as a politically motivated attack, while critics see this as an opportunity for justice. The media, quick to jump on this breaking news, is playing a pivotal role in shaping public opinion, a role that is not without its own set of controversies. These baseless charges could potentially backfire on the Democratic Party. The party, which has been riding high on the recent election victory, could face a severe backlash if these charges are proven to be without merit. This could potentially jeopardize their future campaigns and the public's trust in their leadership. The political landscape remains uncertain as the nation watches these developments unfold. With the global spotlight on the United States, the outcome of these charges could have far-reaching implications, not just for Trump, but for the future of American politics as well. Shifting our focus from the courtroom to the world economy, speculations are rife about how a potential Trump win could positively impact the world market. Many believe that Trump's pro-business policies, which have been a hallmark of his previous term, could infuse a much-needed boost to the global economy. In particular, Trump's tax cuts and deregulation policies have been credited with boosting investor confidence and could potentially lead to a surge in the stock market. Many argue that these policies, if continued, could stimulate economic growth and employment, not just in the United States, but across the globe. Moreover, Trump's unique approach to international trade and relations could also have significant implications. His America First policy, despite being controversial, has resulted in renegotiated trade deals and could potentially influence the dynamics of international trade. While these are mere speculations, the world is keenly watching the political developments in the United States. The outcome of these charges against Trump and the potential impact on his political future will undoubtedly have far-reaching implications for global economy and politics. Stepping away from the global perspective, let's delve into the domestic dynamics of Trump's potential political comeback. It's easy to forget, amid the high-stakes world economics, that politics are primarily driven by people, not just policies. In the 2020 election, Trump surprisingly garnered significant support from both Latinos and blacks. This support base could play a pivotal role in his potential political future. In key states like Florida and Texas, Trump's appeal among Latino voters was notably strong, a fact that challenges the conventional wisdom about Latino political leanings. Similarly, despite the widespread protests against racial injustice, Trump increased his vote share among black men compared to 2016. This underscores the complexities of racial and ethnic politics in the United States. Now, what could have led to this support? Some argue that Trump's economic policies resonated with these communities, many of whom are small business owners. Others point to his tough stance on law and order as a contributing factor. The impact of these policies on these communities is a topic of ongoing debate. In conclusion, if Trump does make a political comeback, the support of these communities could be a game changer. It's clear that the political landscape in the United States is more nuanced than it often appears, and these demographics could significantly influence the future of American politics. As we wrap up our coverage of global events, we want to thank you for joining us here at GiG Finance. We've taken you through a whirlwind of global May Day protests, the struggles in the US market, and the political unrest in Paris, Athens, and Brazil. We've also explored the baseless court charges against Donald Trump and the potential impact of his win on the world market. We've delved into the domestic dynamics of his potential political comeback, shedding light on the complexities of racial and ethnic politics in the United States and the critical role Latinos and blacks could play in shaping the future of American politics. The world is a complex place, and it's essential to stay informed and engaged. We encourage you to continue the conversation in our comments section. Share your thoughts on these topics and how they might impact you or your investments. Your perspectives enrich our understanding, and we value your input. Thank you for watching GiG Finance. Remember, knowledge is power, and staying informed is the first step to being empowered. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you next time.